Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is the Taas Experience. My name is Shane, and thank you so much for joining me for episode number 3 called Where the Streets Have No Name. Just a little bit of quick housekeeping before we get to the topic. I actually want to give a shout out from my last episode, the group that I mentioned about them doing their language stay in Malta, and then they're all coming as a group and everything else as well. So I really want to give a shout out to Michelle, Simon, Rafi, who had a birthday a couple of days ago. Happy birthday to you, Rafi. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. Robin, Yanis, and Sandro, and everyone in that particular group, in that cohort. Thank you so much for being such an amazing group of students. And I'm looking forward to hopefully sharing some more awesome stories with you guys as well. And hopefully one of them will come in for an interview. Don't know exactly who I will yet, but I'll definitely get them on board for sure. So we'll get things started. So today's topic is actually going to be really interesting because I'm actually going to answer a question that was given to me when I first started this video from a teacher at Langports. So big shout out to Esther. Thank you so much, Esther, for giving me the question which I'm about to be discussing in today's video. If you guys have got a question or a comment or anything that you want to discuss, please make sure you tell me about it, whether you want to message it on YouTube, whether you want to message me on LinkedIn, whether you want to message me on Instagram. I am contactable anywhere at any time. I'm more than happy to answer your questions, just like I did from the very first video when people wanted to talk about the twerking competition. All right, so like I said, no conversation is taboo. I am more than happy to discuss it with you guys, so please make sure you send that through. Any questions that you have, please, more than happy to read through it and to answer as much questions as I can, or even leave a comment as well. Any comments will do. So thank you so much to those of you that have contributed to comments and liking it and telling your friends about it. It is a great way to feel very connected, especially given these uncertain times. But fingers crossed, things are going to get better towards the end of the year. 2021 is going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. All right. So my question, the question that was given to me by Esther. So she sent this to me through Instagram, which is shane.taas87. So her question is, what do you like about being amongst international students? Great question, Esther. Thank you so much. Hopefully she will submit more questions. So I think for me, with international students, I think there's two really key things for me personally that I like about being amongst international students, especially with my time at Langports, but also in my times being at Deakin and also a little briefly with TAFE Queensland. One of the things that I really get drawn into is their energy. The kind of energy, and it's not necessarily just the good energy. Sometimes the energy is sort of like a testament to us. So I think from a staff perspective, from whether it be the teachers, student services, officers, and anybody in that field, I think the one thing that international students bring is this level of energy. And it's an interesting kind of energy because, we have, Aussie lifestyles, we have Aussie values, and we sort of, for me personally, I mean, I follow all the Australian values, but I think when you bring in international students, there's this certain flavor, something that sort of brings them out of the box just to sort of give it a little bit of spice. It's sort of like cooking a paella, for example. You're putting all these different ingredients and you're sort of trying to figure out where's that energy coming, where's that flavor, where's that taste coming from. And one of the things that's really interesting about that is that for me as a staff member, I think the key thing is dealing with that energy, whether it is a good energy, whether it is bad energy. And I think sometimes it's one of those things where if you can overcome the bad energy, then you can most certainly make use of the good energy. And I often find that I, for one, would always be in the best interest for the students. And I think it's if they bring out their positive energy, if they have the right mindset and believe that they can do it, they can do it. A perfect example I can think of is a student from Brazil who came to Langports. I think it was in 2018 she came in Langports. I think she came in July. I was doing a lot of the study tour groups. So study tour groups were, a group of under 18 kids with their group leaders, and you take them to activities literally 6 days a week, and it is busy. There was one student who, I think her name was Nazare. She was nervous. I think her English level was very low to start off with. It was a level 2. and she found me very intimidating. She was scared to wanting to ask a question, and I can understand why, because obviously, me being a native speaker, there was this level of uncertainty, and she wasn't really on my radar, obviously, because I was distracted. I took some time off after the study tour trip. I went over to Switzerland on a holiday, and then I came back, and I was informed that she went into doing a TOEIC or an IELTS class. She went into TOEIC first, sorry. She did a TOEIC course. And I was actually quite surprised because I was just like, oh, okay, like she's gone from, a beginner's level of English and she's sort of worked her way getting up into TOEIC. And I remember flash forwarding, 5 or 6 months later, on her last week, I think, or 2 weeks or her last week, she started to talk to me, which was very unusual because I didn't think that, what all of a sudden made you the confidence to actually speak to me. And she said, she said that she learned so much in her time being here that she was so happy to actually have a chance to talk to me. And I said, she could have had the opportunity to talk to me then. And then she told me the reasonings why. And I said, look, I'd be so happy, and I said this on her last day, I'd be so happy if on your last day that you went up there and did a speech just to see how much progress you made. And it was one of the speeches that I remembered. She told people that she started at level 2, beginner's level of English, and that she was proud and happy to have finished her time on the Gold Coast as an upper intermediate student, having gone through all the general English classes. She did TOEIC, she did IELTS, and had the guts to go up there and tell everybody how proud she was. She dressed absolutely stunning that day. I remember how well dressed she was. She had this vibrant, confidence about her. And the one thing that I really noticed, and it's the key thing for any students that do come to Australia, is that she surrounded herself with really supportive and caring friends, and that was really the key difference. I felt that the people that you surround yourself with in any environment are going to be the people that can get you through those really tough challenges and those tough days as well. And I felt that, working for Langports, as with an English language school, even when you're working for Deakin, and I was working with a lot of the residential leaders, you sort of feel like you have a sense of responsibility to be a caretaker, be a caregiver. And I don't think it should be done in a sort of parental way. Like, the students will see it as like, you're the dad or you're the mum for us when we are having issues or problems. But I never wanted to position myself into a mum or a dad role. You want to sort of position yourself so that, you're that person there that's got their back 100%. Whether there's going to be, you want to be the sort of like their cheerleader or their, the person that they can lean on to. Kind of like, let's say in the Grey's Anatomy terms, the Meredith to the Christina, sort of something like that. In case of you people who don't know what Grey's Anatomy is, it's a medical TV show, and I know a lot of people slam me for that because I use it for too many examples. Too bad for those of you that like it. I'm just going to use it as an analogy. But going back on topic, so I think one of the things is that the energy that students bring in that kind of environment is going to be a real testament to how those sort of groups function well or don't function well. And I've had a fair share where some of those do actually do balance. Some of them have been fantastic groups, other groups not so great. And there was definitely a few groups that didn't do well, and it was because they came across as a little bit arrogant, you could say. And to me, the tendencies of that kind of behavior doesn't resonate with me. And if you're not really accepting of what other people are like, then really it's not ideal for that kind of energy to be brought here, especially in Australia. So that's probably one of the reasons why, I like being amongst international students. The second, probably the most important reasoning, is got to do with the journey. Every student that comes through that door, every time I meet them for the first day, they're here on a journey. It's a very, what you call a cliche kind of thing to say that they're on this journey, but every student has a journey. And that's what this sort of video is going to, sort of expose. It's going to have these amazing stories that I'm going to be sharing about so many different individuals, so many different people who I've come across, and hopefully when I do pull in some of the interviews, you're going to be listening to students who have actually done this experience and who have gone through this journey and want to sort of relive those kind of moments. And I think me being in this industry was so important that we as staff members are a part of their journey. Because one of the things they're going to always do is they're going to go back home and they're going to be thinking about all the amazing times that they had, all the amazing friendships that they're going to be making, and all the amazing contacts they're going to have, and that confidence in being that, that person that I help them get through those highs and lows. And the really great thing about the last couple of years, having worked in this education sector, is the fact that I have the ability to actually, keep in contact with so many people who haven't spoken to me in ages, people who've messaged me here and then, or those that message me a little bit too much, which is totally okay. But to sort of end this video, because it has gone over the 10-minute mark, I really do encourage you, if there's somebody who you have met during your language stay, whether it be a student, staff member, or anybody that has sort of changed your life in your journey, pick up your phone, send them a message. Do it today. I strongly encourage you to do that. And I think what happens is that it's just building that conversation. And it's one of the things that I did in October with the Mental Health Week. I wanted people to talk about how they feel and how they sort of, what their situation is like. And I think by picking up the phone, sending a hello message, it will make all of the difference. And I really hope that by the end of this video that you have the opportunity to get on the phone, look through your contacts and message people. You can message me if you want to, whether you're somebody that I know, whether you're somebody that I don't know, and you want to have this opportunity, talk. There's a song in Australia, I think it's called Talk is Cheap. It is the best way to get in contact with people. And I think being in that journey, being in someone's life throughout that whole experience is so important. And I really hope that you do get the opportunity to get in touch with somebody you haven't spoke to in a while, and just do it, because you never know what could happen in those kind of conversations as well. I've actually gone over my limit again, but like I said, please let me know in the comment section below what you think about some of the things that I've said. I'd love to get some opinions about some of the conversations that I've been having. If there's a question that you want asked, like I said, please make sure you message me about it. If you've got friends, if you've got people that are thinking about doing a language stay or thinking about becoming a student here in Australia, and they want something that's a topic of discussion, please let me know. If you feel like these videos should go longer than 10 minutes, it is gone over more than 10 minutes, please let me know as well. Feedback has been great. Feedback is good feedback. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thank you, guys.